when you look at what Plant 42 means to certainly the city of Palmdale and the Antelope Valley, there was a time where we thought about how do we recognize the contributions. And the contributions are rich and deep. And there really wasn't much of an example. So the idea was to create an air park that was unique to Plant 42, that talked about the total package of Plant 42, the workforce, and we recognize the volunteers. But the workforce here at Plant 42, very important to our city and our Antelope Valley. And these people, I think, won the Cold War. And it came right from this Antelope Valley. That's a good story. The airplanes that you see on the site have a connection to Plant 42, a historical connection. Very important to talk about our story is to be able to see the examples of what Plant 42 means to the free world, certainly.
First of all, Mayor, I want to thank you for this invitation for this. I echo a lot of your comments about Joe Davies. Joe was the third commander of Plant 42. He served from 1963 to 1967. I am the 20th commander of Plant 42, so quite a few years have passed since Joe Davies was the commander. I wanted to express my comments about Joe Davies. He's been when I've had questions on things as a commander, I've talked to Joe about them. Whenever I pass this air park on my way into Plant 42 in the morning, I look at the rich history of not only Palmdale of Plant 42, and I think of Joe Davies.
Give me a few minutes here to talk about a few things here regarding Joe Davies and the T33. First of all, we're here today to honor a man who is a hero in every sense of the word. He's a father, a husband, a friend, an aerospace legend, a patriot, and a role model citizen. And we're talking about retired Lieutenant Colonel Joe Davies, who devoted 30 years to the Air Force as both a pilot and a commander here at Air Force Plant 42. He's a longtime resident of Palmdale. He served out on council from 1988 until 1999 and currently serves as commissioner of the city's Aviation and Aerospace Commission. He's also involved in other civic organizations such as American Cancer Society, United Way, Antelope Valley Board of Trade, Kiwanis, and there are others.
Our commendation, and I'd like to read this. It says, whereas the Palmdale City Council approved the concept of the Palmdale Plant 42 Heritage Airpark on April 9th, 1997, and whereas the airpark was developed with the assistance of Air Force Plant 42, the Boeing Company, Lockheed Martin Aeronautics Company, Northrop Grumman, BAE Systems, Abtel Services, Inc., Scaled Composites, LLC, civic leaders, and retired aerospace employees. And whereas the Palmdale Plant 42 Heritage Airpark was renamed Joe Davies Heritage Airpark at Palmdale Plant 42 on December 6, 2006 by our own Palmdale City Council. And whereas retired U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Joe Davies has devoted 30 years to the U.S. Air Force as a pilot and commander of Air Force Plant 42 and has been a long-time resident of the city of Palmdale. And whereas Joe Davies served on the Palmdale City Council from 1988 until 1999, currently serves as a commissioner on the city's Aviation and Aerospace Commission, and continues his civic involvement with organizations such as United Way, the Cancer Society, Antelope Valley Board of Trade, Kiwanis Club, and numerous other groups. Now, therefore, I, James C. Ledford Jr., Mayor of the City of Palmdale, on behalf of our entire City Council, do hereby consider it an honor and a pleasure to commend Joe Davies for his dedication to the City of Palmdale, and I'm going to present this commendation in honor of the official renaming of the airpark to the Joe Davies Heritage Airpark at Palmdale Plant 42. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll give this to Joe. Good work, Joe.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the kind words from Colonel Hurley and Tim and the mayor. I have a couple of remarks I'd like to make. The first one is, I usually see a picture of myself and I say, who is that old guy? But you know, this isn't too bad. It really is one of the better ones. At any rate, besides thanking the mayor and the city council and the former city manager Bob Toon and current city manager Steve Williams, I would certainly like to thank the staff and particularly Tim Hughes for all the work that he has done and is doing on this park.